Anna, and that's my husband Declan, and I was talking before in Russian though about like relationships and distance relationships, and we had a few questions overall about like how we're doing and everything, about our experience. We already in relationships in a distance for about 8 months.
I think so, yeah, 8 maybe 9.
Yeah, so like quite a lot, and still everything is doing great. Like within those 8 months or 9 months, we already got married and went through lots of like complicated situations together and stuff like that. So I think our relationship just like got a new level and got even more, like even stronger and balanced. I'd say we even got closer and stuff like that. So I just wanna, cause like the girls' experience is fine and it's nice to have it, but I wanted to ask you a few questions how you see it, and he doesn't know any questions yet.
Okay, let's go.
Cause men not usually so sensitive in terms of like showing that to people. So I know what you feel. I know how you went through all that, but still, like there might be something that I don't know, and it would be nice to to figure it out.
Secrets out.
Okay, so question number 1. What was your first month during our remote relationships? Emotionally,
Ooh.
how did it go? What you faced? Like, was it? Because for me, for example, it was really hard. I was crying. I couldn't stay home. I was annoyed. Even you remember, like I hated calling you because I was like, I hate that we only have this call and nothing else, that we cannot talk anyhow else. So how it was for you?
Well, yeah, I mean it was difficult because, like, especially when you say with the call, because it kind of taints things, doesn't it? Because you're so used to being face to face, and like with our case, it was quite abrupt. Like I messed up our flight back to Czech Republic. And I had the ticket for when we actually flew to the UK, and I got mixed up. So yeah, we got to the airport and we missed that, and between us we had enough money for one flight, and we were hoping it was like another 2 or 3 weeks before we were gonna do the UK visa and like start it, and sort of, so that preparation actually completely went, and we had this like hard, abrupt, like sudden goodbye at the airport, which was, it's incredible.
Super hard. It was
like,
really
yeah. I mean,
emotional.
That almost brought me to tears. But I mean, the first month apart was tough. I say the first couple of weeks are really tough because you build such like a dependency on each other. Like me and Anna, we weren't only like boyfriend, girlfriend, like fiance, something like fiancés. We were best friends as well, and we would do everything together. We'd travel together every weekend and go do anything. It would be like dinners out and what are you doing this evening, and even just little things like just having a quiet night in and cuddling. We were always together.
And then just like boom,
together, and then
you have shit tons of time without anyone.
Yeah,
like just alone.
And especially like coming from living here and living just me and her, and then I had to go live again with my parents, which was, I mean, my parents, like, hats off to them, they're the best parents in the world, but it's difficult going from that independency and then coming back. So yeah, I mean, emotionally it was tough, but I think you struggled a bit more, so I was more kind of there for you, so my emotions were kind of a bit on hold, and I just kind of, the first thing I had to establish as quick as I could was a good routine, and like, what can I do with all this time, especially living in a small village. So it was just gym work, I think, to start.
Yeah, you tried to see more people,
like your gym, and then I started reaching out to people, trying to sort of band out and things like that, which kind of fell through. So
just
like, the first month. Yeah,
just to kind of get the little bit deeper information. We're living in different countries now. I'm in Czech Republic and Dek is in the UK because we were preparing for the whole time before now to get the wife visa for me to get there, because it's quite complicated job-wise here in Czech Republic for the specific niche that Dek works in, and you need to know the language and everything, and then the amount to be paid is much less than in the UK. So
Yeah.
we together just figure out that it will be easier for both of us to relocate there. So, but it's not that easy. So he had to go to the UK to get the 6 months of bank statements for the visa to prove the financial stability and everything. And there are like requirements with a minimum amount of wage that he has to make to support me financially, everything like and everything like that. And I couldn't go there for a long time period, although I did have a tourist visa for 6 months. But I couldn't stay there for whole 6 months. That's what our solicitor suggested. So that's the reason why we went through all that. So
Yeah.
okay, the question number 2. Okay. Were you always like super strong, and I cannot show that I'm sad. I cannot be like, oh,
Is that
I
how
miss
I come
her.
across?
Huh?
Is that how I come across?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah. Or like, I
Yeah.
cannot. No, like it's not like I thought, oh, he must be sad, but he's not showing it. I mean, you never show that you're sad or upset or depressed. But I've heard once your mom said, oh my God, he's completely, he's so like down today, and lately
Yeah.
he's been so not him and stuff like that. But I never saw it. It was never like, oh, like for example with me it's different. I'm calling him and I'm saying, oh, I'm in a shitty mood today. I miss you. I hate this. It's annoying. It's depressing. I wish it could like stop. I want to apply for this visa finally and just finally be together. I cannot do this anymore. And he never was like this. He never was like, oh, okay, it sucks. Fuck it. I cannot do it. You always was like super strong. But was it like just to kind of keep me in balance emotionally, so
Exactly,
to support
because
me,
of that,
or
yeah, I mean,
just
if I
because
started-
you were not that emotional so far?
It was more because of the first thing, like keeping you strong. Because if I like, because I do feel the same. I did feel the same as you did, but I have to be there for you. Like I don't know if it's like a masculine like husband thing or
It
something.
is.
Like I don't know, but like you're my
It is.
priority, and like your emotions are my priority. And if I start like
Morning.
like moaning why she'll moan, then it's a downward spiral.
Yeah.
Like one of us needs to be like, you know, needs to be has to be like super strong and like to say, right, it's okay, and like bring it, like calm you down and
Yeah, just
and
help.
still
the
bring you
situation.
back from that emotional state. So
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, I had
Ups
some
and
really
downs.
down days. Yeah, like
Yeah.
some months after I sort of like plateaued with everything. Like I applied for like to join loads of bands, and then
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
my job is just it's
Tough.
very mentally challenging, as well as physically. But so yeah, I got to that point where I was just kind of like completely miserable. All my friends had moved away. And like I was like on different Facebook groups trying to find new friends, and if anyone wanted to hang out, grab a beer and like band and everything else. And it took a long time to just find someone
to do.
that led to something, you know, which I haven't really experienced before being here because it's such a big city, and there's always someone, there's always meetups, there's always something happening. Like so,
Yeah.
it's all on you. If you
Easier
want to
to
go
distract
them.
yourself, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah,
Okay.
go on, go.
Now when it's more towards the end,
Yeah.
was it harder in the beginning or is harder now? Where you know that it's almost there, but
That's
you
a tough one.
don't know when yet.
I think they're about the same. I think it was so difficult in the beginning to adjust into being separate and having to do the travelling back and forth, and that was really hard. And now it's the final stretch of the race. It's again become incredibly hard. As soon as we apply for it, and now we know it's in the
It's almost
process.
there.
And that is so frustrating in itself because you're already done with it. Like you've gone through so many emotions, so many different challenges together, like organising like the wedding, then all this visa stuff. Like we applied for the
Paperwork.
visa, like this much paperwork.
Yeah, paperwork.
And
Just,
everything was different, and all them documents needed to be verified, apostilled.
and Dec had to come
Yeah.
here to deliver some documents. I had to go to the UK to
Yeah.
get everything done with the solicitors. It's like constant worrying about stuff, and then in between this, it's like family issues on my end. So you had to support me, or I don't know, something happened
Because life don't stop, does it? You've got life happening, and then the visa on top of life.
Your grandma
yeah.
thing. I mean,
yeah.
his grandma passed away, and I wasn't there, and I had like, I mean, I was there before that, and then it's just like, it's just so intense in between all those like periods, and you're trying to be there all the time, even though if you cannot, just like on the phone calls or messages, constant messages, constant conversations.
Yeah.
Okay, what are the top most important things to be aware before you know that you're gonna get to relationships and distance? To prepare yourself, let's say. Like
that's a really tricky question. That's a really tricky. So you're saying like before you get into a relationship with someone that's long distance, what do you need to think about?
Yeah, or for example, like we knew at some point that we will leave remotely, and then that we will have remote relationships. And how can you prepare yourself maybe before that? Like not like in our situation. Okay, now in the plane, different planes, different cities. See you in a month. But if it will be like how we planned actually, how do you think you would prepare yourself? Mentally,
that's incredibly
maybe you would
tough.
build your routine in advance or something.
I think that is the thing. Like the key to all of this has just been keep as busy as possible. Don't stop. Don't stop. Like.
So, yeah.
Obviously, it's good to have that chill time because you're under a lot of stress and pressure as well. But at the same time, you need to. You can't just stop doing everything because you'll just get completely miserable. And when you're alone with your thoughts, that's the thing. That's the hardest thing. When you're alone with your thoughts, and you've got nothing to do. When you come home from work and you're like, "This is the third day in a row that I've just sat in. I haven't seen anyone. I haven't done anything."
And then you get depressed.
You've got to build a routine, like whether it's joining a running club, whether like any sort of club. Highly recommend it. If you play an instrument, go find people that play instruments. Just keep yourself as crazy busy as possible. Make sure every day has something. But then with the visa, I mean the visa takes up a shitload of time.
and nerves and emotions and everything.
There was for about 3 weeks I was coming home from work. I'll get home at about 5:30. I'd sit down, I'd have a cup of tea and give myself half an hour. 6 o'clock onwards, I'll go through visa documents. I'd then wake up early the next day before work to go through visa documents before I went to work. And it was repeat every single day, 3 weeks. So it's intense. It's intense. Like another thing I'll say is like just if you go through solicitors, don't fuck around doing it yourself. Go through solicitors.
Oh, we're gonna make for sure one huge video about the visa at least, because when we just started it and I was researching a lot, there was no overall complete information from point A to B. When you're like, okay, you need these documents, go to solicitor, ask these questions, prepare this much money, print this and that, go on these websites, stuff like this, and there was just like shit tons of information online. But even on God.uk, there was no complete section with whole bunch of like documents that we actually prepared. So without a solicitor, I don't think if we could even apply. We could have applied like in the same way as we did. He still said that we could actually do it ourselves, because he's like, oh, seems like you read a lot about it and you kind of prepared, but then no.
No, I mean, it doesn't matter. You can read everything, but every single section has like a whole fucking massive appendix.
Yeah.
Like a huge appendix that you will need to read through. And solicitors, they really help guide you. One thing I would say, if you are going to do what we've done, is keep busy on the visa. Don't think, we've got like 5 months. Like, you know, I'll chill for a couple of weeks and then I'll get one more document done. You know.
Yeah.
Keep busy. Keep emailing your solicitor. Be like, right, I've got this. Send them across a copy. Right, what's next? What's next? Because otherwise, I mean, we kind of had it a little bit, but ours was more abrupt because we applied like 2 days before we actually filled on the online application, because there was nothing free before Christmas. So that last 2 days, and I mean even the 3 weeks before that, we were really, really busy getting stuff done. The thing you don't prepare for as well is actually having all these documents apostilled and the time it takes to send them. So just be incredibly cautious.
And translations if you apply from different countries as well. Okay.
For sure.
What are the top 3 suggestions? I guess we actually went that through, like just keeping busy, and then
You keep busy, surround yourself with friends.
like my one is also
family.
like talk to yourself and listen to each other and don't be selfish.
Oh yeah,
Because it's like what I see a lot is I've noticed that from my friends who's asking me like, wait, so you're going to have beers with your friends tonight and your husband is not against that? I'm like, no, same as he's going to have beers with his friends and he's coming back super late and sometimes we don't even talk before we actually come back from parties and it's okay. I mean, why would he? He's like, and girls specifically, and they're like, well, I don't know, my husband is either telling me to go out just for 1-2 hours and then come back, although they do live together, which is crazy for me, or they just ask who they go with, and if they don't know those people, they're really against of that, even though they're girls. So like,
it's interesting, isn't it?
no, I mean, it doesn't matter if he's miles away from me. I still trust him. I'm just like, okay, I can't be worried because if I don't know those people or I don't know that environment, I just like, I'm not sure if those people are fine in terms of like whether they're gonna get drunk or some kind of argument or whatever, because situations are different. But overall, I guess because we don't have this kind of paranoid experience about each other, we're just basically super open. We always talk, always share emotions, and it's if you don't do that, even when you live together, it causes lots of arguments and problems in relationships. Even if you just live together, people do that a lot. They just need that drama, that
like they get too comfortable, don't they? I guess. I mean, I don't know.
But especially when you're at a distance, you have to listen, and sometimes Dek even knows if I just send him a text, he already knows if I'm in a good mood or not. I mean, and he starts asking questions, and I sometimes don't want to share that because I'm like, that's a bullshit, or I'm just meh, whatever. And then in the end of the day, we talk about that, and the next day everything's fine. So I think that's the one also really important.
Yeah, communication is key. Trust each other. Don't get jealous over each other, because that ain't what it's about. It doesn't matter if you live together or if you live apart.
Even if you are, just talk then about it. It makes sense. Even if you feel like you're jealous, you come out, look, I don't feel comfortable. I don't like this. Can you just like comfort me with words that I'm just stupid
that's the thing,
and stuff.
You will never like. There were some times that I'd be busy on my weekend and Anna wouldn't have anything to do, and she'd be like, and that would make her feel a bit shitty. Because she'd be like, oh, he's having fun, I'm not doing it. But
I had that.
There'd never be a time where Anna would be like, oh,
don't go.
I don't want you to do that this weekend. She would never drag me down.
I would be miserable, but then I'd rather like don't talk for a while and just kind of.
But then you'd always say it to me as well. You'd always say, I just feel a bit mad because you're busy and I'm not. But that was okay. Like we just didn't hold each other back. So.
No, it doesn't make any sense. Also, another thing which is good is like how we did transform the time. Exactly, like you build your routine, but it's not just it. It's like within those 9 months, I feel like we both developed a lot and like growth a lot, because that shit tons of time that you have available, you start to transform it, and you, like new classes, kickboxing lessons, you got your belt done, you start doing coaching, and it's like more and more stuff. You help like another guys, talking to them. I'm dancing a lot, I'm working a lot, I'm like doing some I did like that herbs class and this core class and everything, and then it's just like, because you're not just like supporting each other and not holding each other down, you actually grow as well. So it's not like, it's good to be a couple, like, you know, like glued unit, but then at the same time, if one of you is not doing anything and another one is like growing and self-developing and studying and doing something new, another one is not, then when you go back to the point when you live together, you actually might realize that you're a little bit different now. Whereas like we don't have this. We always work on something. We're like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Oh, I have this idea, I have that idea, and then you don't have time to like be miserable as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, next one is interesting. If anyone would have told you you can get a visa now, no need to have a remote time between each other. Yeah. Would you regret that time that you actually spent to, like, for example, like do self-growth, kickboxing? Like, would you ever think, like now going through this experience, would you be like, no, fuck it, doesn't matter, I would say yes to visa there and everything's fine? Or you see it as like some kind of relationships growth, developing stuff?
Oh, you thought about it. To be honest, if someone said like you can get a visa now, I'd be like, yeah, get the visa now, straight away. But I wouldn't have the regrets about
Yeah.
about doing
How
what I've
it
done and like what we've achieved as a couple and then as individuals as well. Like we've done so well. Like communication's been a massive thing. Yeah. And yeah, it is. That's what it boils down to all the time. Is communicate between each other. Keep making an effort. Keep pushing. Like there's times that Anna's feeling a bit meh, and I'll order her some food and get delivered to the house.
Yeah.
And like little things like that don't lose like the relationship. And sometimes it can be difficult with that distance, but you've just always got to remember like that you are a team, you are a unit, and you've got to take care of each other. And there's little things you can do.
To support each
other, even over a massive distance. So
Okay.
yeah, keep doing that.
Have you ever worried about us that we won't make it?
No,
Good.
no, straight up, no. Like I knew we'd do it, but I knew it'd be long. I knew it'd be long, and I knew it'd be tough.
Yeah.
And it would have its like real down times, and then it would have its up times and things like that. It was just. I never ever doubted us. Never ever doubted us.
Me neither, actually. Me neither. No.
I just thought, I just knew it'd be tough.
Yeah. Have you ever had any not complaints? Like, have you ever thought, oh God, Anna, just sort it out, like get yourself together, or maybe I don't like how she's doing this one, or I don't like how she's getting through that one. Like kind of complaining about me to someone or to yourself, just be like, oh for fuck's sake.
Right. Now, there's this one thing, okay, now. We have a pet hedgehog.
Oh yeah.
And you know what I'm going to say. Right, this thing is Anna's, it's like her child. She's like given birth to this hedgehog and raised it by herself. And she brought it over around Christmas time
To the UK,
to the UK just in preparation for moving over. So now I'm in charge of the hedgehog, and she's got nothing to do. And like I do everything exact, like, and she knows as well. Like all its food has to be chopped up, like the wheel, all the poo, everything removed every single day. Fresh water, like time spent with Hedgie, having her outside the cage, doing her nails, things like
Talking
that.
to her.
Now, even though I do exactly what I think she would do, every case, sometimes I'm like, it's not enough. She's like, Dec, you just need to do this, you need to do that. I'm like, babe, I'm doing exactly what you fucking do.
I'm sorry.
But no, it's not. But it's not like I'm just like, you know.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So now
it's funny
to sort of overcome that. I give her updates like every single day.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Hedgie's doing this, and like I'll send her like some more photos, more videos, and everything else. Which I know sometimes has an adverse effect and actually makes her a little bit sad because she misses her hedgehog. But it also reinstates like an awareness that I'm being really responsible and everything else.
Oh,
even if
he's a really good. He takes
But that
care
is
really
it,
well.
honestly,
It's just
that is
me
it.
being paranoid because when I don't see her, I know that you take care of her really well. But I just know stories like funny stories from girls who are already moms, and when they tell me stories how fathers take care of kids, and it's really good. Kids are alive, healthy, happy, fed, clean, everything's fine, but just not in the way that mothers want it. And I'm like, and I just see it in the same way, and I'm like, I know she's okay, she's healthy, everything's fine. It's just because I don't have that attention and I don't have that time I can take care of her. I'm just trying to be even like more involved, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. What will be your first thing when?
Is there anything? Hang on,
Yeah.
like, because I've got that out. Come on,
Yeah.
is there anything that you've been like, oh for fuck's sake, Dec?
No.
No,
I don't think
nothing.
so. No, actually, no, I don't think so. No. No.
Okay, cool.
No, never. What will be your first thing that you'll do when we move back together?
Oh my god! Right, first thing is just. I think just kind of wallow in that feeling of like satisfaction and like just ultimate form of happiness. Like we probably go out for a big family dinner, get
for sure.
everyone out, then go out for drinks and just really celebrate. I mean, this celebration is probably going to last around a week, I think.
Yeah.
Like at least
Justification.
big exhale on it all. It's been
Yeah.
such a stress, like sleepless nights, things like that. So yeah, I think that'll be the first thing, and then after that, it's gonna be like we're gonna have to get our A game back on and think, right, where do we want to live? Where do we want to move to? What do we want to do? We've got to get a car. We've got a lot of savings as well that we've accumulated on either side and sort of sent into a big
lots
main
of
account.
things are just basically just now like on the steady mode until we're together, and then we can just go and do it, because now we just either it doesn't make much sense, or we just cannot resolve it while we are here and there. So yeah. And the last one, never again.
Fuck no. Seriously,
yeah,
I mean, if this,
same.
I mean, you know, touch wood. If it does fall through, like we get denied the visa for anything, like I would fucking hate to do this again. And I think what we would do different next time is like I say, fuck the tourist visa shit. You come over for the whole 6 months.
Yeah.
That's the only way. I'm not doing the 6 months remote again, because it's too much. It's like, guys, you can do it. Believe in yourselves, you can do it. And like the journey is one of like self growth as well as like relationship growth, and you do. At the end, you are stronger than you've ever been. Like you are stronger than you've ever been. It's a very daunting experience, but
it's exhausting.
It does get exhausting. I think this is like the longest I'd want to do. I wouldn't want to do this again. I mean, she's my wife, man, and look at her, she's beautiful. And, like it's horrible to be a partner.
Especially when you just get to that point of just being boyfriend and girlfriend to husband and wife, and you cannot build your house together, like this house routine, you know, make it comfy and everything. Like I pass shit tons of stores with house stuff, and like I want to get some pillows and blankets. I'm like, I want to get like Deck some stuff for coffee and like this and this, and then I'm like, well, it makes no sense because I have no clue for how long I'm gonna stay here. I have no clue when we're gonna actually be together again for a long time. So it's like, or for example, we wanna figure out where we're gonna live together in the UK, but we can't because for that we need to go there, and I don't have my passport yet because of the visa, and I cannot move anywhere. And if before, for example, with my previous job and everything, I could go to the UK more often because I had some remote days of work. And now I don't have my passport, I don't have my remote days, so they can come on weekends for like only a few days, so we don't have this kind of capacity of spending time together as it was before, for within 4-7 days together or something. Or in December when I came to the UK for just a month, for holidays and everything. And so it's just towards the end, for me at least, I'm more like, you know, it's a really bad analogy, but I'm like a drug addicted between the shots. I'm like, oh no, come on, 2 days, come on.
Oh, I need it. I need it.
It's like that. It's like, oh, okay, come on, I can do one more week. Let's do it. And I'm just like, every day I'm hoping that it's gonna be tomorrow or next week or just as soon as possible. And then basically, I think it's gonna be this way, to be honest. I mean, we ideally planned that we're gonna get the visa, and then Deck's gonna come here. We're gonna sort all the things out because we need to repaint the house. We need to do that in Czech Republic before you give it back to landlord, and then clean everything, fix some stuff, like prepare the bags and how we're gonna move everything and stuff like that. But to be honest, now it's gonna be like that. Deck coming tomorrow. Fuck the deposit, whatever. I'm packed.
Yeah.
Just
get me there.
I'm just getting there. Yeah. I think it's gonna be like that. But yeah, thanks for answering my questions.
That's alright, my friend.
It's nice, and just if you're there in the same situation, just guys, just like keep an eye on each other. I mean, and care about your relationships even more. And I'm just hoping that your distance is gonna get shorter really soon, and you're gonna make it. Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Ciao.